Welcome back to another edition of the Nurse the White podcast. We're your host, Jay Rowe.
And from Casso.
Welcome. We got Marcus back, and this is part 2 of our Will Slap Dilemma, part 2. And we left off on where Marcus was explaining about how everyone was ready to go at Jada. So Marcus, can you continue where you left off?
Yeah, because people are willing to, trash Jada and say she's narcissistic and a lot of other things, which, I mean, she might be. I don't know the woman. I don't know her personally. She might be all those things. But I think that in doing that, we kind of, take away a lot of Will's autonomy. And that ultimately, he had a career before he met Jada.
Yeah.
He had a career, he never stopped being Will Smith. And he knew this. And he was willing to throw all that stuff away with, the hasty actions without thinking. And, in protecting, defending his family, as he's called it, which I don't agree with, but I don't agree with the description of it, but, protecting and defending his family, it makes you wonder, if somebody would have attacked her, actually attacked her, not just verbally, but really attacked her physically, he would have defended her. Let's say he goes to jail for that. Well, okay. What you can do the next time she gets attacked, if you're even out, right? What you do the next attack, right? And the next
good point.
Because it's going to happen. Good point. And one of the lifers that I worked with, he had this this term called the other daddy, and I'd never heard of that before. I didn't know what he was talking about. I remember one of the guys is like, another one of the guys is like, I'm going to get out and I'm going to do all this and that. And then he started trashing the mother of his kids, saying and she's probably out there with Jody. And it's just, Jody's that other guy out there who's with your woman when you're not with her.
Jody,
yeah, that's Jody. So, he was like, oh man, she probably got Jody around. I don't care, man. I'm going to get back. I'm going to straighten everything out, whatever. And I remember the lifer, the mentor I was with, he was like, with your attitude, you can keep coming right back to this place. You can keep coming back here because you think you're just going to go out there and throw hands with this man, and that's going to be the end of that. And I was like, yeah. And then he was like, okay, so you defend your girl this time, or you defend your name this time. All right, what about the next time? You get locked up again. Folks are going to give you, NBA numbers. You throw some NBA numbers your way because you don't know how to keep your hands to yourself. That's what they're going to do to you. And then what? Your kid's going to go around calling Jody the other daddy because you're in here with me. And so when he said the term the other daddy, I was like, oh, that's what he's talking about. That's the guy that's raising your kids because you're in prison or you're locked up or you're otherwise not available because, you want to put hands on somebody.
Wow. So
when he said the term, your other daddy or my other daddy, I was like, oh, okay, I don't want, if I ever had any kids, I never want them to even know who that man is.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I'm not taking any shots here, but Future is in that situation.
He is. He is.
And he's not even in prison or jail. He's
right.
Oh, God.
Oh, my goodness.
I should put on a mask before doing this.
But he did say something interesting. And again, I totally agree with you in regards to how some of us was ready to, I'm included, I'll admit that I was ready to I was ready to go at Jada at this episode because of just seeing how she treated him at the red table, and then also talking about just bringing their business out there like that. It was just not a good look as a husband and wife. And I'm like I said, we don't know what's going on behind those doors, and it's not our business. My thing is just but when it comes to a point where you're trying to build a brand for yourself, and then I guess when they put videos out there, like for instance, did y'all see the video where she was talking about how well, Will, she wanted to use Will on the episode. Will was like, I don't want to be recorded and stuff like that. And he was talking about how so he really takes pride in his social media platform, whatnot. And she was not hearing it. She's talking about that's why we have problems now. This is why we have problems now. And I'm just sitting there like, why are you airing that? It's like you're showing the world y'all have problems. And you're showing the world that you want people in your business. And it's like he's literally just trying to keep himself separate. He's trying he just didn't want that kind of energy on it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I just think that at times we put ourselves in situations where we try to live up to a standard. And I feel like for him, he was trying to live up to a standard that she placed that he could never reach. Like, when you're talking about a dead man, and then you have I had to bring it up, I'm sorry. Like, when you talk about a dead man, and you have your kid write letters to this dead man, and Jordan, I'm talking about Tupac.
Yeah,
like, it's like, why? That's it's like you're making another man, you're putting another man above your own father. It's not, it's like Jordan Marcus, y'all have kids and your kid is writing a letter to another man who but you hear your wife or your partner talk glowingly about this person, talk like this person is like King Tut, that this person's piss is gold. Like, I mean, problem. It's a problem. It's not like you can't reach that expectation. You'll never be able to reach that expectation, because how can you reach something from someone who's not even here anymore?
Yeah, he's fighting ghosts.
I'm going to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're going to continue to you're going to continue to be Owen whatever, because that ghost can't hit back.
You know, one of the things I think is very telling to me is that, Willard wrote the letter to Tupac asking him to come back to make her mother happy. And, aside from the secondhand embarrassment I felt for him, because that's just, that's beyond disrespectful. That's beyond disrespectful. But that's kind of what I was saying. In the Chris Rock moment, that was, to me, primarily Will. He's the one that fought the handle. He's the one that reacted as he did.
Absolutely.
But when I look at everything else outside of that, Will knew who he married. He knew what kind of person she was. He knew about that letter, I'm sure, way before the rest of us did. He was willing to work through that. Or I hope he worked through it. I don't know. He knew about August. I know he said that she wasn't the only one that strayed outside that relationship, but we never knew about his discretions until they told us, or until she told us. Mm-hmm. We didn't know about any of this stuff. I was fine not knowing the contents of their relationship.
Yeah.
My life was fine beforehand, and I was just fine beforehand without knowing all that stuff. And when I look at where things have gone with them in the public sector, oh man, I'm so damn glad it's not me. God, I'm so glad I'm not that. And I realize this man again is worth a lot of money, but I'm so grateful to be me and not him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, when I wake up in the morning, or whenever I wake up, I look at my wife, I know that we love each other. We're not in any sort of entanglements financially or otherwise. I'm just really grateful to have what I have. I really am. I learned gratitude from others, and thank you, Will, for giving me that.
Yeah. It's crazy what they say. What's the more money, more problems kind of?
Yeah,
that's true.
It is very true.
But I mean, I don't know how old Willow is, but she wrote that when she was 4. That was many years ago. Will was millions poorer back then, and he still had to deal with that mess. Like he wasn't even the Will Smith at that point.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
God, man, that's so. If nothing else, if we just touch on some of the things you already talked about, think before you act because actions have consequences. Like I feel like I would do a lot if I flew off the handle, and I'm not nearly as wealthy as him. Not even like a percent. Not even like 1% as wealthy as him. And I feel like I'd lose a lot if I were to do that. And I'm very proud of what I've got. I worked very hard for what I've got, and the thought of losing that because I flew off the handle does not sit well with me. So I would definitely think before you act. Nobody's worth your freedom. Nobody is worth what all that you worked for. I just can't imagine it. And yeah, you know who you're in a relationship with. Know who you're.
Yeah. That's key.
Yeah. Marcus. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure she has not changed over the years. And like when I hear like him saying, "Oh, I can't match up to like she used," I'm kind of dumb with my words now, but I'm thinking about how he said he couldn't live up to the man that Tupac was. He couldn't be that guy. And I'm thinking like how, all the stories when I was a kid of how it seemed that, I mean, this dead man, made a song called I Get Around. Tupac has a song called I Get Around. So he wasn't looking to be in a relationship with anybody.
Yeah.
Who he was. The man was living fast and recklessly. That's just how he was living at that time. And he unfortunately, left this world that same way too.
Yeah.
When I think of somebody lamenting about how good of a person he was and how they could have been in a happy couple and all that, it seems disingenuous. It doesn't even seem authentic at all. It's like a romanticized version of who somebody wanted him to be, not who he actually was.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah, Quincy Jones had a daughter he tried to talk to. He also worked with Janet Jackson, tried to talk to her as well. Rosie Perez, tried to talk to her. Like there are a number of people along the way. It wasn't one special person. He didn't have one sweetheart. That wasn't who he was.
Don't forget about Madonna.
Goodness. And Madonna as well, right? The reason I think he broke things off with her in a letter because of racism, like race and perception of it. Like, come on, man. But let one person tell it. They were sweethearts, meant to be together, but they just didn't for whatever reason.
Yeah. But I totally understand. And it's something that we just have to, we understand it. We have to be able to learn from it. And I think that sometimes when we see stuff like this that happens on TV or wherever platform we're looking at it from, I mean, just be blessed that it's not you, but also at the same time, learn from it. Because if we're not learning from the things that we see, then you're more inclined to make those mistakes too. And I think that how we put some of these celebrities on pedestals, this is a key example of why we shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a matter of like being happy with yourself and not having to worry about another person's approval. If we're not living up to a celebrity standard, it's not the end all be all. Which
is crazy to me. You got so many people out there eyeing these celebrities, wanting to be like them, wanting to go to the same places they go to. And which is so silly. They want these celebrities, this celebrity approval, whatever, or validation, but it's like, you don't even love yourself. Why just read it? Like, you don't even love yourself.
That's true. And I think those people don't realize that. Like I feel like they think being someone else will make them love themselves, and that's not the case.
Yeah.
Not the case. At all.
Yeah, I mean, we all have our flaws, but our flaws make us who we are. And I think that if we look at ourselves and we're always finding something wrong and we need other people's validation to live, there's an issue with that. I'm not sitting here saying that it's not okay to receive like a compliment from someone. I'm not saying that it's not okay to to be able to not live with other people, because you need to live with people because we're humans. We thrive off human interaction. I'm just saying that if you don't talk to that, if I don't meet this celebrity, my life is nothing. Or if my friends don't approve of my choice of a woman, or they don't approve of my interests and stuff like that, then my life is a failure. No, like I think we have to learn to appreciate being an individual.
J. Cole has this beautiful song called Love Yours. It's off easily his best album, 2014, Forest Hills Drive. He has a
Great
song.
song.
Oh, yeah. I've actually met J. Cole, by the way. Random is I've met this man. He came
told me, yeah.
Yeah, 2009 or 10. I actually have the ticket still somewhere. The tickets were really cheap. It was like $10, I think, maybe $10. And he performed at Fayetteville because obviously he's from Fayetteville. And then he came to UNCP to perform. And my friend Marcus Bell, who I don't know if he'd ever watched this, but hey, Marcus. I said, you gotta come see it. I was like, who's playing? He's like, J. Cole. I said, who's J. Cole? He's like, oh, he's coming to Pembroke, you gotta come see it. And I was like, all right. You seem really hyped, so all right, I'll go there with you and I'll watch a concert. Well, we were eating in the cafe and he was like, somebody, I think his brother Devin told him that J. Cole was out near Pine Hall. Pine Hall, for anybody whoever knows anything about Pembroke, is it has a basketball court right beside the dorm. So he's like, J. Cole's at the basketball court, let's go there and shoot around. Nobody else apparently knew that he was there. Or maybe there was no one else on the court but him and his friends. I think Boss and some other guys were with him, but that was it. It was a small group of people. We shot around with him, and Marcus later on said, "Hey, my name is Marcus. I'm a big fan of your music. I love what you're doing, the way you represent the Ville and all that." And we met him, shook hands, and we went to his concert later that night. And that was
crazy.
It was so cool seeing him. But looking back on it, I'm like, I could not have been less like it's not that I wasn't impressed. That was the first. That was the second celebrity I ever met. The first one was Deion Branch, but that was the second celebrity I met. And I remember thinking, like, okay. I mean, I didn't know exactly who he was at the time, obviously.
Right.
But and his concert was cool. It wasn't packed, but it was cool. It was great. But I just remember at that time thinking, okay, this is J. Cole. Okay, cool. Man, I gotta save these finals coming up. Like, it didn't change. I didn't have some multi-million-dollar plan afterwards. I didn't have my life completely changed because of all
right.
this. Yeah. I still listen to Drizzy. He's one of my favorite artists to this day. But it's the first one I can relate to.
Yeah. That's dope.
But you mentioned, that I mentioned J. Cole's "Love Yours" because that song he made was just a beautiful song, really. Yeah. And the way he was able to just speak to the heart of, you're never going to be happy with anything you got, or anything ever for that matter, if you don't love yours.
Yeah.
Very true.
I don't know if people are expecting the depth of these conversations that you guys are giving the people.
Hey man, that's what it's for, man. This is what this platform is for, to have the conversations.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, sometimes they evolve into what they do. I mean, I'm all for it. Like, it's a matter of just, like, I mean, we always want to be able to stay on topic, but I mean, I feel like we are still on topic. It's an organic conversation. It happens. Like, I mean, we want to have a starter. Like, unfortunately, we chose to start today of talking about an unfortunate incident, but at the end of the day, it still is something that we can all learn from.
Right.
Like, and God forbid, like, I think a lot of people haven't even talked about the Chris Rock situation. I mean, just the Chris Rock part of it all. Like what he's going through in this regards. I mean, obviously, he still hasn't said a word about it. I mean, he said something briefly in one of his stand-ups that he recently did, but they didn't really go into detail. And I think that for me, I'm more interested in seeing what he thinks more than anybody. I mean, to be honest with you, I really don't care to hear what Will and Jada have to say. It's not really, I mean, I just genuinely don't care. I'm more interested to hear what Chris has to say because it happened to him. He was the one that was embarrassed and to a point where I still have a lot of respect for Chris Rock because of the fact that, he got slapped, but at the end of the day, he was the bigger person. He could have done a million different things but he chose the path of nonviolence. And he chose the path of I think he probably knew, like, at the end of the day, this dude ain't about to mess up my money. He's not gonna mess up my what I got going on. So it's just gonna be. I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say, because it's gonna come out.
One of the things I'm curious about that is Chris Rock has a wow, and just like that, I lost it. He had a disorder of sorts involving nonverbal communication, and so I wonder how he processed things in the moment, and I wonder how he's processed things since then. He doesn't pick up on social interactions the same way the way an ordinary person might, and so I wonder if his perspective of that night has changed at all. I wonder if because I noticed when it happened, he leaned towards Will with his hands behind his back as if he didn't think like the rest of us.
Yeah.
Hey, he's coming to put his hands on you. He's not coming to give you a hug. He's coming to put his hands on you.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if Chris realized after the fact, like, I might have read that one wrong. I love Chris Rock. Like he's
fan.
Yeah.
And who like, let's be real. Who out of everyone in the world watching that thought Will Smith was gonna go hit him?
Right.
No one did. We thought it was gonna be something like, he probably was like, ha ha ha, like, or hug him. I don't want to say hug him, but he was like, ha ha. It probably been something funny. I thought it was gonna be something funny that was gonna happen. Not nothing like that. No one in their wildest dreams thought that was gonna happen.
Right.
You know, I said earlier that I think this wasn't right. I wish Jada would have thought beyond herself to think, wait, Will's about to do something stupid. Let me grab him.
Right.
Let me call him from my seat. That didn't happen. And I think that it's unfortunate that it didn't, because he, again, over 3 decades of goodwill and you know, a wholesome image has been lost. This is the thing I said, I don't have to curse to sell records.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What's that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he doesn't have to sell records. He can
and I also forgot, and I'm sorry to cut you off, Marcus. I think another thing that was missed too was the fact that, and you guys know, she laughed when he got slapped.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
Jada laughed when Will got slapped. I mean, not Will got slapped.
Yeah.
Will slapped Chris. Sorry.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole thing was a disgusting display of narcissism and just generally classless behavior. Like I said, Will Smith is the greatest actor of all time because he's managed to conceal all of this nastiness for years, you know, from the public, and fortunately, nobody knew. And now, unfortunately, because his wife and him, we all know now. And I wish I really didn't know. I wish I could unsee all of it and unhear all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad. Chris, have you ever seen the documentary Good Hair?
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I thought that was actually pretty informative, and it was kind of a love letter to his little girls about his confusion as far as how to treat, you know, what to do with their hair, you know, as a father. And some of the comments I've read in different articles and people that have said, you know, what Will did was justified. Some people have referenced that movie, and I wonder if the people who referenced it even saw the documentary.
Good question. Good question.
I think a lot of people were outraged about the documentary.
I don't think they actually watched it. I think
you think they just probably looked at the title and thought, "Oh, it's bad. This is disrespectful." You
know, I think, and just because I don't have any social media, I don't. I think it's unhealthy. I just don't do it. But I think one of the things is interesting is I think what happens on social media is one person will say something, it may or may not be true, or it might be half of the truth, and someone else will see that and they'll run with it. And before you know it, you got a bunch of people with their Twitter fingers, and they got these pitchforks in their hands, and they're storming after somebody ready to counsel somebody about something that may or may not have even happened. And I think that's kind of what happened to Good Hair. It's a funny documentary, but it's very informative as well.
Yeah. It was a really good film.
No, it was funny as hell. And it was shot here in Atlanta.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, man. And like, just
It was informative because it was like, just you don't know what you put in your hair most of the time. And it's good to know what people are putting in their hair so you don't put some of the stuff that's in like these chemicals that could potentially mess up your hair or mess up your scalp.
one of the things I think nobody's talked about is there's a parallel to me. I saw a parallel in soul food and how in the end of that toxic ass movie, these people ate the very same food they killed their grandmother. Right. And then it same stuff they killed Big Mom, they end up eating that in the movie anyway.
Still ate it, yeah.
Yeah. And then in good hair, like so one
they actually brought it up on the Boondocks episode.
movie, right, about the love of the grandmother and the union of the family, and what we put in our bodies is important because it can kill us. Stuff you put in your hair is important. It can make you go bald. And I've not heard anyone else draw that parallel, but to me, good hair kind of spoke to that. What you put on your head is as important as what you put in your body.
Yeah.
But all people are hearing is, he's making fun of black women's hair. He's making fun of, no, that's not what happened.
No.
Right.
But that's what people heard from other people who haven't seen the movie.
It's just like the documentary Super Size Me. Like, when people were like talking about, you're ruining McDonald's good name and stuff. No, he's giving y'all information like, hey, this is what is in McDonald's food. This is what's in these French fries and these sundaes that they make and these burgers that, people sometimes you need to know what you're eating because America is not a healthy society. It is not. So.
Yeah. LeBron James used to have an endorsement deal with McDonald's, and I'm positive he's not eating McDonald's these days.
Oh, absolutely not.
Positive he's not. And I noticed he stopped, they stopped that partnership too.
Absolutely not. He's with Blaze. He got his own pizza. So, hey, at the end of the day, he doesn't need McDonald's.
Yeah. I mean, and you can make pizza very healthy, but if you don't eat pizza, I don't know if I can trust you, man. Pizza is... too many options. You got gluten-free, you got low carb, you got a lot of different options.
Yeah.
I love pizza, man. If you don't eat pizza, I don't know. I can't trust it.
I literally had that for dinner tonight.
Somebody here thinks he can make good pizza. I can't tell.
Let's not start this game because we know the deal. You're
right. My bad. I'm a great cook. You just wish you were.
I know I'm a good cook, so let's not even play that. we already had. I think if I recall correctly, was it 2 days ago? We already agreed upon a cook-off. So,
I'll fly into Charlotte one weekend. I'll show you how to cook, and then you can just sing my praises when I leave. And you have to give me my flowers when I'm there. You can give it to me when I leave.
Okay. You know what? On that note, is there anything else you would like to add? Is there anything else you would like to add, sir?
Gosh. I don't know if you all ever do like a recap, but just I know we earlier spoke about Will, spoke about Jada, and how ultimately, no matter who you're with or what they do, if you don't love yourself, it doesn't matter who you're with because you're still not going to be happy. Nobody can give you love. Nobody can give you, the kind of validation that's going to make you a happy person. I think happiness is a journey, not a destination. I do believe that. I think that if you look for someone else to validate you and your well-being and so forth, you're short every time. And I wish nothing but peace, and I don't want to use the word healing because I hate when Jada uses it.
Because it's not a genuine.
I don't know what her understanding of healing seems to be. Let me air out all the dirty laundry and just let the world see. That's not healing. That's just being messy.
And especially if you're going to talk about it on your Red Table Talk, you're gonna have a specific episode to talk about what happened. That's not healing anything. The best way to heal that situation is to move on from it, to not even talk about it. Like just be done with it. Like you're doing that just to, build your brand.
It's just so messy. It's so messy, man. It's just not. It makes me cringe just thinking about how sloppy it is, man. This is, like, come on, man. I'm absolutely nobody, and I just think about what I have to lose and how I'll never behave that way. These people have so much more money and connections and everything else in me, and that's the best you can behave in public in front of millions.
Millions of people.
That's classless.
Millions of people. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can even talk about the other situation, the other crap show, if you will, that's playing out right now.
What's that?
Are you all following the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard situation?
Oh, I haven't been following it. I've been hearing things here and there, but
man,
yeah.
Do we even have enough time to even talk about it? I don't think we do, man. But
Dude,
my goodness.
I feel like I've been lied to all these years. These celebrities aren't who they say they are. These people aren't who they say they are.
Wow, it's like and it's so crazy because like both of them are just doing like harm to each other with it's like, my goodness, like you're on his side one day, then you're on her side one day, then it's like back and forth, it's like ping pong. And it's like, my goodness, it's like they're both like like, I don't even want to say toxic, it's just, my goodness. Like, I don't even know.
It's a mess.
It's messy as crap.
It is.
So, do you all ever speak about what you can do on your next show while you're on your current show?
We don't. We probably should start doing that, but we don't. We never do.
We don't.
Let the people know what's coming up. Let the people know what they can expect from you all.
Well, we did the intro video like to introduce the channel and talked about what we have ideas about, like genre-wise, not specific episodes.
Yeah.
But what we do plan to have in store is to have more conversations like this, but also about specific things that we like other comic book characters like X-Men, Spider-Man, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Sonic, and Super Mario, and other game characters too. And then also talk about like how kids relate to gaming, or how kids relate to this MCU stuff, and even parents, and maybe some social commentary about some of these things too, how they have an impact in the society, and stuff that's going on, like current news stuff, like what we just talked about with the Will and Jada stuff.
Yeah, and I know we got some other more, or I guess less, like serious conversations coming up too. I don't know exactly when or what order they're coming in, but I know we definitely be talking about some of our favorite like movies and sitcoms, and I know we got our top 20 favorite artists coming up. I don't know when we're dropping that, but that's coming up, and that's not any genre, just the top 20 artists, period.
Yeah.
Music artists. So I'm looking forward to that one a lot. That's gonna be dope.
Yeah, it's a lot of good content. Just enjoy the ride, and hope people enjoy the channel. And I mean, it's definitely in its infancy stage, and we definitely appreciate you, Marcus, for coming on today and bringing good conversation and good knowledge for people to listen to. And this is for me, it was like we came in expecting to like be critical and just to kind of start bashing, but it turned into a genuine conversation about just how to learn from each other, as well as what not to do, as well as just how we look at others. And I think that it's good to we have a plan, but then it's okay to deviate. It's okay to deviate and have a conversation like this, because you never know what person's going to listen to this and appreciate it, and appreciate the fact that, I always believe in the fact that you learn something new every day. I think that's the most genuine statement there is. Like, you're going to learn something new every day, whether it's big or small. You learn something new every day.
That's true.
I think you can. If you're in a position to learn, I think you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, man, I truly appreciate you coming on. You know, this was definitely a beneficial conversation, and for me, I'm definitely happy that you were able to come on, and you're definitely welcome back anytime.
Yeah, you got to. I definitely like. I mean, Gerard already said it, but I definitely feel like your contribution definitely took this conversation a whole different way than what I thought it was going to. So it was a really dope conversation. Like, you definitely got to come back for sure.
Hey, thank you guys. Truly, thank you guys for even letting me even be on this, even speak on this, because you guys could easily have said, nah. So I really, yeah, that was something you guys had to do, and it's really fun exchanging different perspectives with people. And like I said, Drew knows I don't have any social media, so all of my ideas I keep to myself, or I talk his head off about them because I have nobody else. I just don't do so. I don't like to. I like to be disconnected until I don't want to.
Yeah.
But I like the rest of the world in small doses. I don't really like to share and connect with people like that. Because I do enough of that in my personal life, in my professional life, so I don't like to do that. But yeah, I appreciate this opportunity. Hopefully, I'll see more people on the show, and and see see what else other people have to say about some of these things. So I think everyone's got a different perspective, and like you say, you can learn from other people. Always learn from others. It's something I'm looking forward to doing.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you, man. I truly appreciate you. Thank you, Crump. And we're gonna sign off tonight. This has been a good episode, and thank you again for tuning in to the Nerds Light Podcast. We'll see you soon. Peace.